Hello, everyone. I am Anna Morgan, your career BFF, and this is the Delicious Dish. Hi, I again am Anna Carr Morgan.
Anna, I don't think we're live. Sorry.
Why?
It's not showing up. I think you need to create a different stream. It's so weird. Because it says and I don't know if it's because you scheduled it at a week out, but when I go, look at this.
It says I'm live. There's a delay.
But the delay is not this long.
It has been for me.
Oh, shoot. Really?
Whoops. It's the Delicious Dish, and we are live.
Oh, shoot. We are live.
I know. June thinks I'm a rookie live streamer. I've gone live 15 days in a row. I have a little idea of what I am doing over here. So we are just going to get back into character here and roll with the show. The show must go on, as they say. So I am Anna Carr Morgan.
And I'm Jeanette Louisa Caloroso.
And you're listening to The Delicious Dish on CAREERBFF Live.
CAREERBFF Live.
Now, Jeanette, it's the holiday season, which means there's some really interesting things that are happening in the job market.
There sure are, Anna. And on today's show, we're going to take a wild ride into the hidden job market of opportunities. So hold on to your hats, folks, because today they might start freaking out when we talk about the secret ingredients for a winning LinkedIn profile. Now, Anna, when I'm preparing to optimize a LinkedIn profile, I really prefer the classic components. That, of course, includes a creative LinkedIn banner image, a keyword-packed headline, and of course, a well-crafted about section and so on, and just a little dash of recommendations.
Just a dash. Now, there sure are. Now, when I am preparing a LinkedIn profile, one of the best things that I love is that you can use it to attract hidden opportunities. And that's a really fun holiday activity, like super fun.
Oh, fun.
It's really fun. Good times. Good times.
Fun.
Now, what I also like about a winning LinkedIn profile is the fun that you can have optimizing and decorating, kind of like holiday cookies and gingerbread men. For instance, the banner image or cover image, I like to use Canva.
You know what? Your LinkedIn profile is like decorating or building a gingerbread house. Some good resources to decorate that LinkedIn profile is also Canva, like you said, PowerPoint, or even Adobe.
And I've been thinking, like, instead of your headline just saying, your title and your current role, like a plain old sugar cookie with no sprinkles, you could add some extra spice, like keywords of the positions that you want, with a selling statement at the end or a key differentiator.
Anna Carr Morgan, you're really good at this.
Hey, thanks. Wait a minute. You can also use the About section to really tell your story and get super fancy.
Fancy. That's a good idea. You're really good at this, Anna Carr Morgan.
Yes, thanks. It's really fun coming up with these things. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn.
Like how much time are you actually spending?
I can't tell you that. I'm sorry.
It's good times.
Good times. If you're just tuning in, we are listing the different ingredients that you can use to decorate and make a winning LinkedIn profile?
Now, Anna, I need to point out that your LinkedIn profile doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles and have that fancy new feature, such as the creative mode on. You can shape it to tell a story and maximize the skill sections, which could definitely help you rise to the top.
Rise indeed. All those bells, 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 bells. There's lots of things about
So many
bells
bells, so
on
many bells and things.
LinkedIn. So many bells. It could attract your dream employer, having a winning LinkedIn profile. It could attract a podcast appearance, a speaking engagement, side hustle opportunities, or even simply super awesome, great friends.
There's definitely a lot of things a winning LinkedIn profile can be. It could be a holiday gift or an interview conversation starter, or even a fun way to let people get to know you.
That's so fun. You are so fun and so right.
Anna, Cara Morgan, you're so fun. Thanks. And I can't just stop thinking about the different ways. I just can't. I just can't. There's just so many ways that you can utilize to
Yeah, it's good
build your
times.
LinkedIn profile, the possibilities, the impact.
It only takes one little interaction to make holiday magic. So you should really hold on to your hats, folks, because this is the time they may fly off as we dive into the rest of the Delicious Dish Holiday Extravaganza Career BFF Live with yours truly, Anna Morgan, and the amazing June Caloroso. Let's get some claps in the comments. Even though we had tech complications, we are here to celebrate and say hello to everyone. Let us know where you're tuning in.
Yeah.
And we're going to catch up in the comments.
We winged it. We winged it.
Ooh. All right. So who do we have in the comments? We have Susan. We have Lisa Parker. We've got James, Lily D.
Hello.
I always have to read Dan's comments before I put them up. He said he's made too many bad decisions on New Year's. This year, I think I'll be hanging with Captain Morgan. Wow. Okay. Angie Ling is here. She said she couldn't, on here on Facebook, couldn't get on LinkedIn. So it looks like LinkedIn is working just fine. So yay for that. There has been a big delay, but here we are. I am so grateful that you joined me. This is our second edition of the Delicious Dish. I can't believe it has been a full year since we've been business BFFs and great friends. And that's all thanks to LinkedIn. So that's why we are going to be sharing a little bit more about how to build your brand. What are some of the secret ingredients or actions that you can take to attract those hidden opportunities, those roles that aren't posted, so that people tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I have this position coming up and I've seen you on the platform, we've engaged, and we want to hire you. So what else are we going to talk about tonight, June?
We're going to talk about like the winning recipe. Oh, there's a little bit of echo of the career success, the job search strategy success too. It's going to take a little bit of everything as far as resiliency, having a growth mindset, having the courage to show up and share your accomplishments, and sharing tips on how to effectively network the hidden job market.
Indeed, indeed. Can I just stay in SNL character?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And we are, we have some goodies to give away.
Yes.
I don't know if you all are following Miss June on TikTok, but let me just put up her TikTok URL here and encourage you to go follow her because she's entertaining. She drops the best gems and will help any kind of job seeker or career changer, especially those looking to break into tech, right?
Yes, if you want fun, fast, actionable tips there, you can find me on TikTok. I try to post my TikTok videos here on LinkedIn when I can. As you know, I just started a new job at Meta, and it's definitely been interesting trying to balance everything. But I do what I can, but I still have a passion to help this community, by sharing my tips on how you could break into tech and how you can build up your confidence and build your personal brand on LinkedIn. And speaking of personal branding, why do you think, especially going into the new year, why is personal branding so important?
Well, June, let me answer that question. I mean, my journey with my personal brand was organic and also almost by accident. And I am a Gen X with probably a millennial Gen Z love for social media. And I used it to kind of document my professional journey where I would share situations that came up when I worked in agency staffing, or funny things that I would hear through the recruiting process, new clients that I was working with. And it really just started building momentum from there. And from sharing those things, then I started to get referrals where people were like, hey, can you help my friend that's looking for a job with their resume? Do you know any recruiters in these different areas? And that just kept building and building and building until in 2019, I feel like the universe kind of slapped me in the face and said, hey, it's time for entrepreneurship, and took that leap. But for job seekers, that personal brand is to build connection, right? That's why all of these social media platforms have stories and give you opportunities to showcase who you are more than just an employee, because this pandemic has proven that employers now understand that we are more than just employees. We are parents, we are sisters, we are single parents, we have elderly people that we're taking care of, and that connection, right? By sharing our story and our leadership voice in certain places builds that connection. It gives social proof, and it starts conversations, because if you think about sales, the more people you touch, the more people you talk to, the more doors open. And the same thing applies for job seekers, which is why the concept of social selling or social job searching, especially on LinkedIn, can be so powerful. But you have to have some core components of your personal brand or these secret ingredients. So
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, it's definitely like sales, where it's like a numbers game, right? The more people that you reach out to, the more people that you share your passions with and your interests, the more people, there's going to be more awareness in which you could bring to the table, right? And adding here too, like you said, we are so much, and I think we both learned, especially because of the pandemic, we both experienced layoffs, is as professionals, we are just people in general, we are more than our careers. We are more than an employee. Like you said, we are mothers, we are daughters, we are side hustlers, we have different passion projects, interests. All of this contributes to our personal brand.
no doubt, no doubt. And I know from coaching these last 2 years that a lot of job seekers have a lot of resistance to being seen. And that's why I'm so passionate. And we are similar in this space, that we love to work with underdog or the career misfit, someone that has had maybe a squiggly kind of lined career, or looking to make a pivot, that needs to do some inner work, not only in addition to getting some of those core principles and strategies to be visible on the platform. And that's why I focus so much on fabulous self-love as one of the pillars of my upcoming course, and why I talk about self-care and meditation and structure to make sure that you are able to show up as your best self. And that resistance really comes from a fear of being seen. And what I look to from people like you and people that have gone before us that are creators that haven't been afraid to, do the TikTok dances or do the info minutes and show up with messy action like we did tonight, but we're here to add value. And this gives other people permission to take that first step. And trust me, there are times that I'm faced with some of that fear as well. But I also think about all the people that I've had an opportunity to serve and work with. And I know that this is kind of my purpose. And so I take that step, I make that post, I say yes to that coffee chat or yes to that client, and watch the miracles unfold from there.
Yeah, I love that. I think also too, like what we kind of bonded on is that we are both career misfits, right?
Mm-hmm. We both finished our degrees later in life, right?
Later, like way later, late 20s. Mm-hmm. I didn't finally find my purpose until maybe after I became a mother. And I want to touch on that too, like where you said that most job seekers, most people in general, they're afraid to take that leap where they take action and show up on LinkedIn, right? Why do you think? I'm sorry, I'm like interviewing you now.
Hey, you can take it over, lady. Take it over.
It's like a collaborative conversation because like that was the thing that we shared in our post today is the 2 cups of packed willingness, continuous learning of new skills, and the ability to take risks and experiment with new concepts and ideas. And like for me, I didn't maximize this LinkedIn platform until I experienced job loss, right? I looked at LinkedIn as a way to kind of cope with my grief of losing a job, just because I know during the pandemic, there was just so many of us impacted, right? Where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to just start sharing how I'm feeling right now with this layoff. Yeah. So what do you what do you think is like the biggest hesitation for people to start looking at different ways?
Well, I mean, a lot of people I work with are like a lot of people. They come to LinkedIn simply to update a position, or they're salespeople, so they're a little bit more savvy with working with the platform. But I think they're overwhelmed, and that is something that we take for granted, having been very active on the platform for several years now. That we know these ins and outs, and people that are newer to the platform that say just have 500 connections or are just trying to figure out their strategy, I think they just get in this space of analysis paralysis, right? And that's why I, focus on organize, leverage, and create when I'm coaching through LinkedIn. Is how do you focus on the key people that you want to get in front of? Here's steps 1 through 5 to, help keep you accountable. And then leverage your network. Here are the things, how you can talk about your opportunities, how you can network effectively, and leverage those conversations into opportunities. So sometimes I have found I've had a couple clients where I've created a post for them, like I'll log in for them and I'll just hit like, we'll do it together, right? Write the post and I'll just hit the post button and they're just like, oh, I can't believe I did it, and I'm like, yes, now you've like ripped the Band-Aid off one time and now you have, you can model success after people. And there are a lot of people that do LinkedIn really well. And those of us that are testing things out, personally, sometimes the posts that I spend the most time on totally fall flat. And the ones when I roll out of bed and I'm inspired and I just,
ones, yeah,
I hit send. Those are the ones that go crazy. So you just never know. But I texted Dan to make sure the live was working because a couple of people in the comments were saying
Yeah, I think it's
they
kind of.
couldn't get in.
I think it's a LinkedIn thing. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we're still here.
We are
And
still here. Yeah,
and here's the thing, like, yeah, maybe if we're not officially on live, but we're still taking action here and still
exactly.
showing up, right? And like, I love that you work with your clients, or your clients may have that hesitation of actually like posting it, but you're there being their career BFF and doing it with them.
Yes. Yeah. And, supporting them through that. And then because the other thing about working with the underdog or career misfits is, just having that unconditional support and having someone that's taken some of those steps before, or where you can hold space and just have those compassionate conversations to acknowledge, like, yes, I understand how you're feeling. I understand the rigor of a job search now. As I talked about in my newsletter recently, that wow, the tables have turned from this time last year, and job seekers are like, I have too many opportunities coming in. But that's not for everyone, right? That's for folks that are working LinkedIn as we coach and do have those ingredients of willingness to take action and step into their power and stand firm in who they are and trust that your uniqueness, your quirkiness, my too loudness, my whatever, those are actually our superpowers. Those are the things that are going to be magnetic. And over time, when people get active on the platform, and this has been very much my own experience too, is that you start to build that momentum and you start to see patterns in the things that light you up and that you want to talk about. So that's what people start remembering you for, that I like to, support ADHD advocacy and diversity, equity, inclusion, and volunteer opportunities. And I advocate for Pandas Pans for my daughter. I talk about recovery. So, those little pillars, those are the things that make that connection, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. You're like establishing your blueprint, which I like to kind of like use now, like your blueprint.
Yeah.
Your footprint on the job market on LinkedIn, right? Is when you start kind of like sharing these things about yourself. And then like you'll start attracting the opportunities, like they'll start coming to you, even when you're not even looking, right? And I think that's the biggest thing too that I like to share, like even with my clients, or even just people that have just recently just landed a new job and starting in their careers, is to continue to show up and build your LinkedIn and personal brand, because like personal branding is so important, especially going into the new year. I actually just did a TikTok about this. I read an article, I think it was flexshops.com, where it shared like different companies going fully going like a hybrid remote long term, right? And I feel like your personal brand is so important, especially now, because we're still going to continue as recruiters. We're still going to continue to do virtual interviews. Hiring managers are still going to ask for your LinkedIn profile. A LinkedIn profile is a great way for you to share more of what you do outside of work, right? Maybe you love to volunteer. Maybe you have a little passion project where you like mentor my college students, right? So yeah, I always continue to advise my clients and anyone out there that have recently landed a new job is continue to share what you've been doing in your current job, just because maybe 2 or 3 years from now, you may be looking, right? And you want the opportunities to come to you.
Exactly. And starting to work LinkedIn and share your leadership voice and give to others and build community is the best career insurance that one can do for their career. And I've been on the platform since 2006, and I've connected with candidates and clients that I've placed and worked with throughout the years. And it's been amazing to watch those them progress in their career, and then how they come back to you. people change jobs. Then they become, tapping you on the shoulder for new opportunities. And I see so many people that are like gung-ho about being active and being visible on the platform, and then they land their position and it's like,
and they're gone. They ghost.
Where have they been? And then as soon as they get laid off or their contract ends, they're back.
I'm back. I'm back here to like, no. I absolutely agree with you. Like, yeah, I love how I think you're like the first person I think you're the only person that has kind of correlate like the building your personal brand to like career insurance. It's the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
Whereas, because like you still want to be like, and that's why I'm still showing up on LinkedIn, even though I'm not as active. I'm still here a few times a week, just because I'm so grateful of this platform.
Well, and I also think this is something for people to think about. If this pandemic, the last 2 years, has taught us one thing, is that we have to be prepared for the rug to get pulled from underneath us.
Oh,
it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. So that should be the little fire to light under your hiney to keep you motivated on the platform, because you never know. I mean, you and I were both blindsided with layoffs in the spring of 2020. And with as volatile as the market is right now, and the trends that I'm seeing is that while unemployment is going down, it's going down at a slower rate than it has previously. And my intuition is going to be that keeping the gas on the pedal right now and making moves in the first and second quarter are going to be critical, because of everything that's going on in the economy and with the new variants. It has that ripple effect. And so having your finances in order, having your, all your assets in order, and having that visibility on LinkedIn, in my humble opinion, can definitely reduce that anxiety of the unknown, right? And that those fight or flight feelings that we've all had these last 15 plus months.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about like being proactive, right? And just setting you up for a situation where like you said, like you don't know when the rug is going to be pulled under you, right? Where you have to be at a point where like you're happy with your job, like just seeing the news.
Are we going to go there? Are we going to talk about better?
Yeah, just I've been wanting to make a post about it, but
we can talk about it.
I did on TikTok, but because I know a few people that work there, and that just struck a chord in me. And I know so many.
I mean, who lays 900 people off on Zoom?
On
some very not nice man.
After getting like funding from, I think it was like SoftBank, I believe.
LinkedIn is being so glitchy.
I know, it's okay.
Why does it have to do that on our delicious dish?
No, but people are going to watch the replay. They're still going to tune in. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't know why it's
Of course, I have been live streaming. What's going on? I've been live streaming perfectly for the last 15 days, and then I have a guest, and it's like...
No, I see you live on the cover, on your cover.
I know, but I actually can't get to the post. If I actually go back in my activity...
LinkedIn thing.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Hashtag LinkedIn. What's going on?
What's going on? And
we're trying to get more people to your platform, even though you have 3 people a second join the platform. It's over 800 million connections happening here on LinkedIn. But
mom is going on live right now. I don't know.
That's okay. We're live on Facebook. I know that.
I know. I saw someone logged in on Facebook because Angie couldn't get on LinkedIn.
Angie, we appreciate you being here.
We appreciate you, everyone that's here.
Yeah,
and we were just saying like,
if we're just talking to the airwaves, hello. Secret ingredients to tap into hidden opportunities.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about
what else is in there. What's packed in the little measuring cup?
What about research?
Oh, the research. Okay, let's talk about research. I think I'm just going to mass apply to all these positions on Indeed.
Right,
Is
right.
that
I
okay?
think it was Mindy who posted today, or it was Mindy. It was Mindy. So she did a TikTok and she posted on LinkedIn about like spraying and praying.
Spraying and praying is bad.
Is bad, 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 bad. You're wasting so much time when you're blindly applying, y'all. You need to have a strategy in place. You need to narrow down your targeted companies. I say at least, especially within tech, if you really want to be somewhere, create a list of 3 to 5 tech companies that you want to be at, and then do an inventory check of your resume and your experience. See what roles you can make an impact in, and then create a list of 5 positions that you want to apply to.
Mm-hmm.
And then do your research on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I always say, it's like the yellow pages of everyone that works like your dream employer. You can find anyone on LinkedIn. And it's a great place to find people that have made successful career pivots from a non-traditional background. Like, for example, I don't know if Olivia's here, but I'm having a call with her next week. She wants to transfer and pivot from higher education to tech. Well, hey, LinkedIn's a great way for you to find people at Google, at Meta, at LinkedIn, who have been in higher educational positions in the past and have made that successful pivot. But you got to do your homework and you got to do your research. And yes, it may sound like a lot of work in the front end, but it's going to be worth it. Wouldn't you say? Instead of blindly applying and spraying and praying.
Yes. And so I'm going to play the client. But June, they haven't had any activity on their profile and there's not much there. What do I do?
That's okay. You're going to go ahead and reach out to them. If they don't respond, find their email. There's so many resources out there, like, what is it? Hunter.io, I think. You can find someone's email.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I always say to people, try to reach out to them at least 3 times. If they don't respond, move on to the next person, especially if you're trying to network with people at larger tech companies, because there's going to be so many people in that similar position that you could actively network with. And then that person doesn't respond, maybe go tap into their network and see if you have mutual connections. Maybe reach out to one of those mutual connections and see if you get an intro.
Absolutely. And if you land on a profile and you're doing your research and you do see the connection is active on the platform, I highly recommend that you go engage in the places they are engaging before you drop in and slide into the DMs and start asking for things. Because I think most people are dealing with some element of burnout in their lives right now. And when you get DMs that are kind of spammy, it just kind of sucks the air out of the whole experience. So trying to personalize it, keeping it short, but also being courteous of earning the opportunity or using language that is complimentary to show that, you know, you're more interested in having a conversation, building a relationship versus it just being a transaction. Like I just got an email connection with someone that said, "Thanks for connecting with me. Please give me a reply if you can." Reply about what?
I know. I also want to talk about like, don't go for the ask right away, right? Like, I love how you said you have to earn it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, you got to think about, I know we're not supposed to say this on LinkedIn, but it's a little bit like courting or dating.
No,
but
like dating.
I mean, that's why I like to use the term earn the right, because it's that law of reciprocity. It's about, you know, the equal balance of energy, in my humble opinion. And we all experience energy vampires to a point. And an energy vampire is someone who's dropping into DMs, just spamming their resume, asking for informational chats and me. And that's not how you get results, right?
No, it's not. I've been getting a lot of those recently.
Well, I mean, you're like super popular now working at
No, I'm
Meta.
not. No, and it's like, and I don't respond, and it's like I can't keep up with my inbox, and it's like I just started. Like, can I just enjoy my time
And that's
here?
why it's so powerful, especially for people that are looking to network in tech. You have to stand out, whether that be with a voice note or a video message
Ooh, voice
or
notes.
a statement that has a really strong attention grabbing hook that would stop me in the scroll, right? That would inspire me to be like, ooh, maybe this is a candidate that I should be talking to because they've done the research, they personalized, they have gotten creative, because that's what organizations are looking for, is that innovation and I think some of that boldness too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, boldness and creative ways to stand out. Like, I've actually, yeah, I don't know if Olivia's watching, but she's been following me on TikTok, and she gives me so many ideas for content ideas. And I'm actually doing, she's going to be my beta. I'm revamping my course.
Yay.
And she's going to be, I don't know about you, but like when I record my modules, I stumble on my words when it's just me in front of the camera. But when
Mhm.
there's people there, like when I'm doing workshops, it just flows much more natural, right? So I'm
Mhm.
going to have her sit in, and she stuck out to me, Olivia, if you're watching, because very personable, asked great questions to my TikTok comments.
Yes.
And her approach was it stood out to me. So that's the
Mhm.
thing, is like, if you really want to get someone's attention, think of creative ways on
Mhm.
how you could stand out, whether it like connect with them on other platforms too.
But don't be creepy. So I'm
Don't
gonna,
be
a
creepy.
caveat is like, so what is the professional courtesy when we're talking about personal branding and getting visible on social platforms? You know, am I allowed to say, like, after you have a phone screen with a recruiter, you can certainly reach out and connect with them on LinkedIn because it's a professional networking community. Now, following on, if the recruiter's profile invites you to follow them on other platforms, that typically means they're okay with it, like we would be.
Yeah.
But I sometimes find it a little odd when I get a connection request on like my personal Facebook and not on my business face. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a little
That's
strange.
boundaries. That's
Yeah.
boundaries. You don't
Yeah.
want to connect. I've actually seen that too recently. People
But
trying
you make a
to.
great point that I want to circle back around to. For job seekers, when you're on these social platforms and you see employers on TikTok or LinkedIn, in different places, commenting is a completely sustainable social media strategy, not only here on LinkedIn, but in other places. And again, the whole point is to start more conversations. More
Conversations. Yeah.
conversations builds trust, builds that social proof, and will increase conversions to interviews and
Yes.
unposted opportunities.
Yes. In the hidden
Those
job
are the
market.
secret ingredients.
Conversations, conversation starters. It's also giving you visibility too, especially on
Visibility.
LinkedIn. When you're commenting, everyone sees everyone sees what you're doing, what
Yes.
types of things that you're interested in on, like as far as topics.
Mhm.
What articles are you liking? What are you commenting? I've known people who've landed interviews all because of a comment on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
right? So
100%.
so it's a great strategy too. And that's also a great strategy if you are afraid to actually create your own content on LinkedIn by having your own text posts. Commenting is still content creation. Um, but you commenting on other people's posts and sharing your perspectives and your experiences, that you're showing up as a thought leader.
That's right. And I always recommend commenting as a way to start building that muscle of being visible. So, doing a handful of comments daily, for me, was really what started to build my confidence to open up the post box and start sharing. And a lot of times, if you find you're commenting on some content where you have a lot to say, you can turn around and repurpose that content,
So
that comment, into a post. And then you're repurposing it, and it's super easy.
Super easy. Yeah. You can repurpose it to a comment, I mean, a text post, an article. I've actually converted my comments and text posts to articles. And then also for content creators out there or business owners or entrepreneurs, if you really like want to be more strategic on TikTok, like I've done it too, where I've repurposed text posts into a quick 15-second TikTok video. So it's all about having these creative ideas,
Taking action.
taking
And
action. And like
yeah,
also too, like I also want to mention, like to this, obviously this live didn't go perfectly right, but it's all about progress over perfection.
yes. That is a saying that is so near and dear to my heart. And I probably say it to myself every day when I show up and take messy action is better than no action.
Exactly.
And it's just, you never know who's watching. And I will give one other example is last year after my layoff, I was posting content, I was engaging on the platform. And because of that, I kept getting tapped on the shoulder to come back to my previous employer. And I have no doubt that part of the reason I was top of mind was because they couldn't stop seeing my face on LinkedIn. Right. And so they were like, yeah, I see Anna. I see Anna. I see Anna. Let me call and see if we can get Anna back. And really that's the same, it's not spammy in that way. It is socially selling yourself. It is staying top of mind, building that brand, testing out, sharing your leadership voice. And, I'll be honest, 2-3 years ago, I would have never considered myself a thought leader or someone that had a leadership voice to share. But through my experience here, watching amazing women and men really take those steps and build their brands, build their businesses, land opportunities, I've worked towards modeling success and blazing my own trail. And, this holiday season, I invite everyone to give themselves the gift of just going for it. I mean, if not now, when? And this pandemic has taught us that we can't take any day for granted. And so now is the time. Now is the time to let us know what you have to say and just go for it because we're here to support you.
Yeah. And you're going to, and also I want to touch on too, because you said you blazed your own trail and you did it your own way. And I feel like sometimes I often feel like I am the misfit of LinkedIn because I do crazy stuff on LinkedIn. Not crazy, but out of the box thing.
Out of the box. But I'm so glad that it's moving more towards this creator mindset.
Yes.
Because I do think doing some of the more creative things, and we're very similar in this way that it has been like almost like medicine for us to support our mental health, to kind of tap into that inner playful child, at least for me, and really embrace that and have fun with it.
Embrace it. Yeah. And I think that's why we bonded, is because we're not your typical career coach.
Yes.
We somehow integrate playfulness,
fun inspired,
helping you and educating you, but also entertaining you at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Right? So we've talked about the winning ingredients for a LinkedIn profile. Yes. We've talked about some of the characteristics to be successful as far as resiliency, focusing on your mental health and self-care, and taking action to really start sharing different aspects of you as a human being. And that can start with your profile, from the cover image to the headline to the about section, to a concise experience section and your recommendations. Those can all help you rise to the top of the pile, right?
Rise. Yes, rise. I don't know if we touched on I was looking at my post today. We touched on courage a bit too.
LinkedIn is just
I
so.
know. LinkedIn land, what's going on? I think it's the rain, honestly. LinkedIn.
It's not the rain.
No,
It's because they're doing some kind of upgrade, and
LinkedIn headquarters is in Sunnyvale, and it's raining all over the Bay Area. Maybe that's it. I see that we're frozen.
yeah, it's crazy town. And I mean, I'm just sad that, our community we can't really engage with our community.
We are going to slice and dice this LinkedIn Live and repurpose it. I have an idea for the intro.
You always have an idea.
I think the intro was so good, even though I was like,
we're like, I don't think I'm live.
And then like, oh yeah, June thinks I'm the expert here. But
I was very calm.
Like, I've been going live every day, Missy. Like, slow down your roll.
Don't make me come out to California. Pound you. Get you.
I know.
And here's the other thing about LinkedIn.
I'm looking at cover story is frozen.
What's that?
Your LinkedIn cover story. It's so weird. Like, I'm looking at
what could it be that I plant
oh my god, my face right now. It's like frozen. I'm looking like this, and you're like
smiling. I'm watching it like in the stream of my activity, but if I try to go to my post,
it doesn't show. It's so
like
weird.
I can't participate in the show, in my own show on the LinkedIn.
Why don't you want to create a new stream and see what happens? Or no?
Well, I know that you don't have a whole lot of time.
I mean, I have 15 minutes, but I'm just like curious to see what happens. Wait, hold on. Happening now. Yeah, it's so weird. I can go like, yeah, I'm looking at us right now. We're live right now. Actually, my comment come up. Hold on, does my comment come up?
I'm gonna look on my Facebook.
Oh no. Why don't we do that? I don't mind going another 15.
You want to start a new stream?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay, we're gonna start a new stream. So should I play my outro? And
that's what your outro.
So am I creating
the great about live though, right? This is what's great about live. Like everyone can see the behind the scenes action because
that's right.
We are DIY professionals here. We do everything. We don't have any fancy producers. It's all us doing this behind the scenes.
That's right. You know those TikToks where you're like, I'm the coffee maker, I'm the social media manager, I'm the photographer, I'm the live streamer,
I'm the marketing manager, I'm the PR person.
I am the content writer, all the things. Okay. Okay, so when I come out, then I'm just going to create a new broadcast.
Yeah, and just send me the link. Let's see what happens. Because I go into the live, I'm watching us right now, and I can't even comment.
Damn you, LinkedIn. Damn you. We'll be back.